What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Good Morning Tottenham. So good morning to you all out there. And yeah, we've got some headlines to get through today. First one we're going to be talking about is from Sammy Mokbel from the Daily Mail, and he's saying that Tottenham now believe it is virtually impossible that Harry Kane will join Man City this month, with the transfer deadline looming just a week away, or under a week away now.
7 days, a week today.
Yeah, a week today. So it looks as though Harry Kane will be staying at Tottenham this season.
Yeah, Sammy Mokbel also said that, and also Alistair Gold confirmed the only offer Tottenham have received officially from Man City this summer is 75 million plus 25 million in add-ons. I mean, that is pathetic.
No wonder Daniel's not answering the phone to them anymore.
I'm sorry, Man City have played this absolutely pitifully. They've done this all wrong, Man City, and they've screwed up this deal more than anyone else. So Harry Kane, if he's going to be angry at anyone, he has to be angry at Man City at this point. Has to be, because 75 million plus 25 million in add-ons, and that's the only offer they can come up with this whole summer. And they've been unsettling him, and they've been putting things in his ear like, oh, you have to kick up a fuss and you have to do all these things, when that's the only offer they've put up. That's pathetic. That really is pathetic.
It is pathetic, and it's like,
that's insulting, actually.
It is. And when we're talking about Man City and how they've played this all wrong, we said they've played it all wrong before we even heard about this 75 million jargon.
I thought they put in an offer for 100 million plus 25 in add-ons, which is also pathetic, but apparently they didn't even put that in. That was just talk.
Yeah. And
now we're hearing the truth that the only offer they ever did put in was that one, which is, quite frankly, honestly, I should double the price just for putting in that kind of offer if I was leaving.
Yeah, and the way they stumped up for Jack Grealish, 100 million, there you go, just straight away. And Harry Kane, they put in pretty much a lower offer for Harry Kane than they did for Jack Grealish. I mean, Jack Grealish, from my understanding, was 100 million straight up cash.
Yep.
And it's Harry Kane was 75 million plus add-ons. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense.
And
Jack Grealish, they don't even need in their squad. That position they don't even need. They're fully stocked. And Harry Kane, they don't have an out-and-out striker in their whole squad, apart from Jesus, who's not really like a proper number 9 like Harry Kane is. He's more of like a false 9.
They've been taking the piss. Who, Jesus?
Yeah.
No, he's number 9.
He is a number 9, but he's not like a proper number 9 like Harry Kane. He's more of a false 9 type.
No, I don't think so.
To Harry Kane. Well, that's just my opinion.
I think he's more of a striker. Like, he's a striker. I don't think he's a false 9. A false 9 is someone who's like a creative kind of player. I think he can do that, but he is more of very much comes alive in the penalty area, Jesus.
Yeah,
so
you're
I see
right.
him very much as a number 9, but I think they've been taking the piss the whole summer now. Come to think of it, they really have been taking the piss. It makes me quite angry when I think about what they've done, how much they've unsettled Kane for no reason, putting in pitiful offers like that, and then trying to convince Kane, if he kicks up a fuss, that Levy will drop his price to that low. Like, seriously, like, who do they think they're dealing with? Who do they think they are? And yeah, they have all this money, but if when you're trying to get one of the best strikers in Europe, it's like they haven't taken this seriously at all, and they've tried to lowball Spurs the whole summer, thinking that Spurs will drop their price. I mean, it's quite frankly pathetic from Man City, and we should reject, even if they bid 150 at this point. We should reject it. We should reject it, because there's no point us.
We have rejected it. We're not even answering the calls to them anymore. You know what I mean?
Good. I don't think we should, when they quite frankly trying to get Harry Kane for that amount of money. Honestly, the audacity is unfounded. So for me, Man City, they don't deserve Harry Kane with these kind of offers.
I agree.
Quite frankly,
I completely agree. The risery offers. Daniel Levy's right to stop taking the calls from Man City, and even if they do stump up the cash now, which Daniel Levy have been asking for all summer, we still have to reject it. It's a little too late now.
I wonder if
they've missed their chance. See you again next summer.
I wonder if that's why we're seeing Kane coming into it a bit more now. Maybe, do you reckon he realises that yet?
What, he realises that he has to stay now?
Not first of all that, but he realises that Man City been taking the piss.
He must do. I think that's why it was a genuine switch of PR teams as well, because it just wasn't working. City weren't doing their end of the deal. Charlie Kane wasn't stumping up his end of the deal, making good decisions for him. So
it also makes it even worse now. I think it makes it look even worse on Kane if that he tried to push for a move when that was the offer. I can understand if like the offer was 130 million, like 20 million in difference is like, okay, Kane's trying to force it a bit to make sure Levy lowers his price a bit. But if that was the offer, 75 million plus 25 in add-ons, and Kane was trying to skip training and push for a move for that offer, that looks a lot worse on him.
Yeah,
that looks a lot worse on him in my opinion, because that's a pathetic offer, and obviously we're never going to accept that. So what does he expect us to? What does Kane expect Levy to do?
But that's what the story was the whole summer. Is like, Tottenham are not holding Harry Kane hostage. Man City are not stumping up the cash. I don't think it's changed much. I mean, yes, it's a derisory offer, but Kane can't look at it like that, really, can he? I mean, he just needs to push his move out to Man City. It doesn't. He just wants the two clubs to make a deal.
Yeah, but they need to stump up something that can you negotiate with, and that's not an offer you can negotiate with.
Even 100 plus 20 million is derisory, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. 100 plus 20 million. It has to be at least 100. You know, you're getting at least 125 million. Maybe if it's 130 plus add-ons, that's something you can maybe negotiate for. That's something to bring them to the table to get 100, 150. But at the moment, there's nothing to negotiate. Man City clearly don't want to push the boat out and get him. They clearly don't. They must not want him that badly. Yeah. They mustn't. If that's the offer as well, if that's the only offer they've put in, they seriously must not want him at all.
And you know what really annoyed me? Did you see Gary Neville on Sky Sports last night?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who does he think he is, Gary Neville? I don't understand. It's really starting to annoy me, this Gary Neville thing. Like, who is he? He's like a bloody pimp, and he's whoring out Harry Kane to every single club that can afford him, basically.
You know what annoyed me is like, he did that thing, Gary Neville, yesterday, and then Sky Sports pushed out a notification on the app saying Gary Neville says Man United have to go for Harry Kane in the last week of the window, like trying to force it as much as possible. Even today, I don't know if you saw today.
I haven't seen today.
Sky Cover on Sky said he's been told by one of the top agents in the UK that Harry Kane is 100% leaving this summer.
Really?
That's what he was told. And it's like, they're trying so hard to push this Kane thing. They're trying as hard as possible. Everything Sky put out is that, at the end of the Wolves game, is that a goodbye from Harry Kane from the fans? Is that a goodbye wave when he's clapping the fans because he's showing his appreciation?
Even the bloody text commentary that I brought up yesterday was like, Harry Kane puts it out for a throw or something. Pep Guardiola will love that.
Yeah, seriously, they're trying their hardest.
Text commentary in a game. Text commentary in a game.
They're trying their hardest, Sky Sports, as hard as possible to try and get this deal over the line, but they can't force Levy to accept a derisory offer like that. Like, quite honestly, the whole narrative that Levy's anyone who thinks Levy is the bad guy in this whole situation is not reading it right.
Yeah, look. At the end of the day, Levy is the bad guy in this situation because it's his fault why Harry Kane wants to leave in the first place. But I get your point. Like, he's not the bad guy in terms of the actual accepting and rejecting the deal and all that and keeping Harry Kane hostage.
No, yeah, he's the reason Kane wants to leave. I accept that. But I'm saying in the deal for this summer, the deal right now, why this deal hasn't gone through, that's not Levy's fault at all.
No.
At all.
But look, you've got to look at the bigger picture as well, and it's his fault that he does want to leave the football club, and it's his fault why we're in this mess right now. Mm-hmm. And you've got to say that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's obvious. That's obvious.
But it still needs to be said. But I think that it's just like this Gary Neville is just really pissing me off, literally whoring him out to anyone and anyone that will take him. And in terms of Manchester United, do you reckon Man United could be a viable option for him next summer?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll come in, and do you reckon he'll go there?
Cavani, they need to replace Cavani. I think he would go there if they're in Champions League, and if they have a title challenge, even if they don't win it, if they have a title challenge this season, yeah, for sure he's a viable option.
What if they finish fourth but don't have a title challenge, or third or fourth and don't have a title challenge?
I still think it's a viable option. Depends how far away they finish, but below. But if there are signs of improvement and stuff like that, I think United's definitely a viable option for him, and they could easily stump up that kind of money, about 100 million or whatever. Yeah. I think that's definitely a viable option.
Got a super chat here from Crocodox. He says, Gary Neville, we must eradicate the Super League and sort the money issue in football. Also, Gary Neville, Man City should break FFP to sign Harry Kane. And there's Gary Neville in a nutshell. There you go. But look, that is the kind of Harry Kane news at the moment. If you guys want to call in and have your say on anything Tottenham related.
Is one of our headlines Kessie?
No.
Because there's been some developments.
From who?
From his agent.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Come on.
He says...
breaking news on We Are Tottenham TV, people.
There are quotes from his agent saying, having a contract expiring in 2022 with an important player, one of AC Milan's strongest, is a basic error by the club. Now Kessie is the one who holds the knife by the handle and can decide what is best for him rather than the club. I know that in addition to Inter Milan, there are 2 Premier League clubs interested in him, including Tottenham Hotspur. That is from Frank Kessie's agent just now.
So that comes a few months after Frank Kessie says he wants to stay at AC Milan for the rest of his career. And now he's talking about Inter Milan. Imagine if he goes to Inter Milan.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be too much. That would be too much. But, so Frank Kessie's agent apparently confirming that Spurs have hold an interest this summer about getting Frank Kessie. And he does have 1 year left.
Give them Aurier and Sissoko, and we take Frank Kessie. Easy, done deal.
Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, please, I would love that. But with 1 year left at 24, he's 24 years of age. Could there be a deal to be done, or is his agent talk? Or is his agent talk?
There to be a deal. I love this player so much. I think he's an absolute baller. He had an absolutely unbelievable season for AC Milan. I think he is a top player, and I think if we are looking to get Ndombele out the door, there's not many better players in the middle of the park that's a viable option than Kessie.
According to Calcio Mercato in Italy, it says Tottenham have offered Frank Kessie a contract worth up to 8 million per year. The midfielder's priority is to renew with AC Milan. However, they are struggling to agree on new terms, and the club are subsequently open to selling.
Wow,
that is what Calcio Mercato are reporting.
How much do you reckon he goes for?
It still has to be a decent offer, like 40 million, 50 million, probably.
You reckon with 1 year left?
Yeah, it could be as high as that because he's 24 years of age, and I think you still have to pay a premium to beat the competition in these kind of scenarios. A bit like how...
But look at Marcel Sabitzer, he's got 1 year left, and they're talking about like 15 million.
Where's he gone?
He hasn't gone anywhere
Exactly.
yet.
Maybe that's all rubbish. Because if it was 15, if they're open to selling him 15 million, it would have gone by now.
You would think so, yeah.
You got to remember Hazard. He had 1 year left on his Chelsea deal when he signed for Madrid, and he signed for 100 million.
But isn't it a bit of a different kettle of fish? Eden Hazard was one of the best players in the world when he went to Real Madrid.
No, but why? But even with a year left, why is he going for 100 million? Because you have to beat the competition. You have to make sure you get his signature, and getting him early and not waiting a year until his contract runs out is worth that extra bit of money. And so I still think Kessie is going to go for quite a bit of money. You got to remember he's 24 years of age as well. He's very young, so he still retains a lot of value. So I think Oxlade-Chamberlain, he moved to Liverpool from Arsenal. He had 1 year left, and he moved for about 45 million.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to make sure they got him through the door. They didn't want to risk waiting a year and having all these other clubs going for him on a free. So I think that's the premium you got to pay sometimes for a player like Kessie, even if he has 1 year left. So I still think around 40-50, I would say.
Do you think it's
maybe less?
Do you think it's possible to get Kessie and Adama through the door?
Not without selling people.
Yeah, but even with selling people, I mean,
maybe
if you sell an Ndombele for 40 million, then fair enough. But he's the only one that you can really sell to get any sort of significant money in.
We just need to get numbers out. We need to get numbers out the door. First of all, because we have too many foreign players, too much wages blowing the squad and stuff like that. It looks like we're going to go for Adama on loan with an obligation to buy, so it doesn't look like much outlay for him necessarily this summer straight away anyway, if we do get Adama. So I think we probably can get both of them in. If we sell, we need to sell though.
And Tommy Arsu as well.
Yeah,
right back as well.
No, I'd like to sell. I'd like to think so. It's hard to envisage it. Like with this board, you can't imagine. You can't. It's hard to envisage we'll do that. But Frank Kessie, a midfield through a Skip Højbjerg and Kessie.
That'd be a tough midfield, wouldn't it? Not much creativity in their mind.
That's the thing. I think it'll be great when we're playing against teams like Chelsea or teams who are better than us, where we don't need to be so creative. Just need to make sure we're
Just
solid,
be solid, yeah.
and then we can use our pace to break away. But you need a bit more guile when you're playing against a different opposition. But I'd definitely love to get Kessie through the door.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the kind of moments we need to kind of capitalise on. If we can get a player like Kessie's quality through the door, it's something that we need to push as hard as possible to do.
It's
really
massive upgrade on Sissoko.
Massive upgrade on Sissoko. Massive. And got the age to back it up as well. He can be here for a long time, Frank Kessie. At the top of his game as well.
I get the feeling, just looking about who we're linked with, like in central midfield and stuff, I get the feeling that Nuno is looking more for, he'd rather players who are hard workers and are very solid and can create a base for the team, rather than players like who want to kind of get their foot on the ball and dictate games. He doesn't seem to be looking for that kind of player. And although that, that's what I've said that we've needed, and I still stand by that, but clearly he's going in a different direction where he wants a team to go in central midfield, it looks like. Yeah,
it looks as though keep solid and counter-attack kind of thing, instead of actually dictating the tempo of the game and possession of the game. It looks as though we're going to be a counter-attacking team this season. That's what it looks as though.
If judging, and especially with
Adama and Kessie, if they were to both could come in.
But is that something that would frustrate you? Because there's what a lot of people complained about last season.
It would frustrate me against the smaller clubs. The majority of home games, it would frustrate me. I think that we've got enough quality, I think, in the team to dictate possession of a game, dictate the tempo of the game, and go out and attack teams. I don't think that we should be playing counter-attacking football, let's say, this weekend against Watford at home, you know what I mean? This weekend against Watford at home, we should be putting our pedal to the metal and absolutely trying to blow teams away, you know what I mean? And we've got the people to do that.
Now we've got someone tweeting us saying apparently this isn't his agent, but I don't know, it says it is his agent on from Goal Africa. And now we've got...
Well, Goal ain't exactly the...
We've got people, there are replies underneath it saying this isn't his agent. So who is it then?
It's his agent's mate.
I don't know who this is then. If it's not his agent, people are saying it's not his agent. I don't know who it is.
Look, at the end of the day, Goal isn't exactly the most reliable.
No, but they're quoting a quote.
They're quoting a quote.
Sorry, as in they're putting it's a quote. It's not there's not them saying what. It's not them saying it. They're quoting someone saying it.
Yeah.
So unless they're either making up the quote or misquoting him, it's hard. It doesn't matter if they're reputable. They're just quoting someone. If he actually either said it or he didn't.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So
doesn't even have his name on there.
It does. Massimo Bramti.
So they're saying Massimo, whatever his name is not the agent?
That's what.
Because we can do a quick search on that. It's not that hard to do a search on that.
Go on then.
What's the name?
Massimo Brambati.
Massimo Brambati is a former Italian football player.
Okay.
And who is he?
Who is Massimo Brambati? Anyone in the comments? Eden Cooper said Paolo Maldini spoke about him last night on Sky Italy. What did he say, Eden? What did he say? You can't just put that out there. Did he say he's joining Tottenham? I want to know. Anything? Is he an agent?
Can't really see. Frank Kessie's agent is Ambition Group.
Okay, so yeah, but who's...
Yeah, I'm about to find out. Ambition Group Sports Management has 3 players on their books. Frank Kessie, Italeng and Dande, whatever that means. And Ambition Group Sports Management...
Someone says he is an agent, but he's nothing to do with Kessie. So maybe he's just not Kessie's agent, just an agent, and he's talking about Kessie. And he's heard something. Maybe that's the deal.
It doesn't look like this guy's got anything to do with this agency.
All right, we'll scrap that.
Kessie ain't coming, people. Kessie ain't coming.
I think what it sounds like to me is Goal Africa have got their wires crossed. They think it's Kessie's agent talking. I think this is a genuine quote from this guy, whoever he is, an agent. He's probably heard it. He's probably just he was asked to comment on the situation and his thoughts about it. He might have heard a few snippets from around, and that's it basically.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. But it doesn't mean. But clearly, it isn't from the horse's mouth. So, but the Calcio Mercato article that was just now, and that's a genuine article from Italy. And they're saying that Spurs have offered a contract to him. So, although Calcio Mercato are not the most reliable source, there are reports in Italy. Anyway, there you go. That's the latest on the developing story on Frank Kessie to Tottenham.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Someone says so. Not so breaking news.
No.
Someone says Rudy Galletti tweeted it. Who's Rudy Galletti now? We're going down a rabbit hole here.
We're taking you with us down the rabbit hole, people.
Rudy Galletti is Sky Italy. No, Calcio Mercato. What did he say? He said Tottenham are pressing.
They're so hit and miss, Calcio Mercato.
But yeah, he says Tottenham are pressing for the signing of AC Milan midfielder Frank Kessie.
All right, look, this is the news right now. I'll just have to see how it plays out over the next couple of days, and we'll see if any breaking news happens. We will be bringing it to you here first. We've got a super chat here from Dark Sun G21 saying Man U is not what it was a long time ago. The time with Ji-sung Park was probably the best period for Man United. If Kane leaves to Man United, that's a big laugh. I don't think so. I think Man United are going places, but I still don't think they're as far along as the kind of Chelseas and Man Cities and all that kind of stuff.
It says here also in the article that AC Milan are lining up Renato Sanchez to replace him if he does end up leaving. And Eden Cooper in the comments has said Maldini said that AC Milan spend too much money on wages and Kessie wants more than his current deal. So maybe there is some legs to him leaving.
Well, you know what they say, there is no smoke without fire, people. So we'll have to wait and see. But there's definitely some positive noises coming out, that's for sure. Dark Sun G saying, can we trade Aurier and Sissoko for Kessie? Yes,
we can. I'd love to. Yeah.
I would absolutely
we can offer it.
to.
Whether they accept it or not is another thing.
A lot of people asking about Romano coming on We Are Tottenham TV. You'll have to wait till later. That is coming, though. David Sandqvist with the super chat, but no comment. But thank you very much for the super chat. Let's talk about Papa Sarr now. Let's talk about Papa Sarr because Tottenham and Mets have reached a verbal agreement, apparently, for the signing of Papa Sarr. And there was an interesting update from Ali Gold. And he says, French journalists and people in around the club view Sarr as a proper talent and is one of the most gifted, talented players in France. Tottenham Hotspur see this as a Dele Alli type signing where you don't want to miss out at this early stage. So exciting times really with Papa Sarr. Do you think he's going to be loaned back?
I think so. Part of me wants him to be part of the team this season, just because we need the numbers in central midfield. But I think a loan deal will probably do him well, and a loan deal probably if he stays. He only had a break. He only played 22 times last season, so he really had a breakthrough season last season for Met. So he still needs time to develop himself, but. I think it's one of those players where it looks like we're getting ahead of the competition, and it looks like we're very certain that this guy could be a real star for the future. And I've seen some clips of him. I know it's hard to judge on just a few clips, but I've read a few stats on him as well, and he seems to be an absolute workhorse in that centre. And he's one who definitely would get me excited. There does seem a bit of no one's sure just yet 100% if he's going to stay on loan or come straight into the first team. We're not 100% sure yet. Looks like he's more likely to go on loan though, but I think it's a great deal for Spurs. I think it's a great deal for a decent price as well. And at 18 years of age, you could be in the team for a very long time.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely one to get us all excited about. It's just, it remains to be seen whether he's going to stay here or not. But I would love him too. I would love to come here this season and really add to our midfield. But if we are going to sign another midfielder like Kessie, is he really needed?
Not right now, but maybe next year. If we do end up getting someone like Kessie, then yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense to send him back on loan. That's for sure. But but next season, Højbjerg, Skip, Kessie and Sarr, all battling out for those positions, it's good competition, I think.
Definitely, I agree. Did you see the updates about the South American players?
Yeah.
Lo Celso and Giovanni Lo Celso and Christian Romero are set to miss the Chelsea clash. And the clash before that, I think the Crystal Palace game as well, because they've both been called up to Argentina.
Yeah, I don't really understand this, because I read a report yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. I read a report yesterday from the BBC talking about players going on international duty, and that clubs are set to refuse players going to red listed countries going on international duty unless quarantine exemptions are agreed. And apparently Liverpool are set to stop Mo Salah going on international duty.
Yeah.
So why is it different for us? Why are we not stopping Lo Celso and Romero?
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I mean, it seems as though these are all like personal decisions by each certain clubs. Liverpool, and I think I saw a report about Chelsea as well, stopping their players going. So I don't get it as well. Like, why the hell are we not stopping these players going? Why the hell?
We should be. We absolutely should be. It doesn't make any sense to me. Here he is. Here's the article from Simon Stone on BBC. Premier League clubs to refuse to release players for international duty in red list countries. That was posted yesterday. Premier League sides are among leading European clubs set to prevent players from going to red list countries for September's international break. Unless quarantine exemptions are made, players would be forced to miss several domestic league matches because of the 10-day isolation period required on return to the UK. The FA and the Premier League are in talks with the Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport over the relaxation of UK rules. Similar problems are thought to confront clubs across Europe. Liverpool are among the clubs refusing to release players for international duty. Mo Salah, Alisson, Fabinho and Firmino are set to be refused to go because their home nations are on the UK government's red list. The Egyptian FA said on its website that Liverpool had apologised for not allowing Salah to join up with the national team. They've already apologised, Liverpool, to Egypt, saying... The statement read, the Egyptian FA has received a letter from Liverpool apologising for the inability of its player Mo Salah to join the national team in its next camp, which includes all these games. However, Liverpool have confirmed they are happy for Salah to play in an away fixture against Gabon because of not having to enter a red list country. But why? Surely Tottenham have to refuse Lo Celso and Romero if this is a possibility of them quarantining, if there's a red list. It has to.
They have to.
Why are they allowed to refuse players? We're not. I don't understand.
It's not allowed. It's they're actually going out and do it. I mean, everyone's allowed, aren't they?
I don't know.
It's not one rule for one and another rule for the other. I said it. I'm pretty sure it's each club's decision to take it into their own hands, kind of thing.
Well, I hope Spurs make the right decision from a Tottenham point of view. Got to be a bit selfish. Look, Lo Celso and Romero were just at the Copa America. They've done enough recently.
Yeah, they did. And
for
I know
Argentina.
If Pochettino was still our manager, he wouldn't stop them going.
He wouldn't stop them.
I don't think he would stop them going. He always said he would never stop a player playing for their international team.
And I guess if they have requested that they want to go, then what can you do? But it's I think Spurs should do all they can to try and stop it from happening, because they could be big players in those games potentially. They could be. So that's a really annoying.
But obviously, these games are World Cup qualifiers, and it's important games for their country, and they probably want to be there to represent their countries and play in the World Cup qualifiers.
And Salah's also playing in a World Cup qualifier.
Yeah, I know.
So annoying.
But look, we got a super chat here from Kane D saying, "Do you think Lo Celso creates enough chances?"
No, he doesn't.
Not at all.
He doesn't create enough chances. I think he has the ability to, but he just doesn't do it yet.
Yeah, I completely agree there.
Yeah, he needs to create more chances. I agree.
And Josh Seven says Romero has a dodgy knee at the moment as well. He better not start the game.
That's also true.
Yeah, like we need to keep these players at home as long as possible, really. Now let's move on. Let's talk about a interesting swap deal which has been doing the rounds over the past 24 hours. And that is McKennie and Sissoko. McKennie of Juventus, who had a brilliant season last year, and he's been rumoured to be leaving out the door of Juventus this summer. And obviously Moussa Sissoko, who's obviously we've been trying to get rid of all summer with no luck. Would you take a McKennie Sissoko swap deal?
Oh my god! Would I take a McKennie Sissoko swap deal? I'd pay so much money to see this happen. Honestly, the fact that there are even rumours of it makes me like can't. Yeah, honestly, pray to any god that you can that this deal happens, because this will be the deal of the century.
This deal has no chance of happening.
Zero.
You've got to be a complete idiot to take Soko in replace of McKennie.
Yeah, there's no chance this happens. There's no chance. I don't even know why this is a story. This shouldn't even be a story. It's like
no smoke without fire.
No, it's an impossible deal. Impossible. Surely it has to be like 30 million plus Sissoko for this. You know what I mean? Like, no chance. No chance.
They only just signed him. I don't get why he's rumoured to be leaving. They literally only just signed him. Makes no sense to me.
I signed him in March. Makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense that he's rumoured to be leaving, and they're open to selling him. Maybe they need to get money off the wage bill. I don't know. Maybe that's why. But the fact that apparently it's come from Forza Juve, apparently some Juventus publication, but I can't see there's any legs whatsoever in this kind of talk.
It's come from Tutto Sport
via
Forza Juve, yeah.
Tutto Sport via Forza Juve. So I don't know. Like I can't see there being any legs in this.
I agree. Probably
too
not
good
worth,
to be true.
Yeah, definitely. Probably not worth spending our breath on it, to be honest. I want to talk about the under-23s game last night. I want to talk about Dylan Markande. I want to. Can you get the goal up? We can get the goal up to show, surely.
I can try, but unfortunately the phone didn't seem to be coming on.
Okay. But Dylan Markande and Niall John both scored in a 4-2 victory over Leeds under-23s last night. That's Markande's second hat-trick of the season already. 4-2 they won, and what a goal. One of the goals he scored last night was absolutely breathtaking. Took it past about 3 or 4 players and literally skinned their whole team alive. And the footwork, the sheer footwork on this in this goal is gobsmacking. Really, it's absolutely breathtaking. And I want to show you guys if you haven't seen it.
Let me see if I can. 1 sec. Let me see if we can.
Who needs McKennie or Kessie when you got Dylan Markande? Is it phone working?
I've sent the tweet. Let's see if we can get it up. Don't know why
but Markande has really stepped it up a notch this season.
There's been a lot of talk about Markande.
A lot of
I remember
talk
last
about
season
him.
there was talk about him as well.
Yeah, last season people were talking about him, but he's really stepped it up a notch this season already. 2 hat-tricks to start the season.
How old is he?
Let's have a look. He's not old. He is 20. Oh, he's 20.
He's 20.
Wow, I didn't realise he's so old.
Oh, okay. And he's Indian footballer.
Yeah, English Indian. And he looks like a real baller. And if he's 20, you would think that first team opportunities could come his way pretty soon.
Yeah, 20 years of age is definitely not too young.
You know, maybe some Conference League football this season or some cup game football this season. I mean, what's he thinking with Dane Scarlett and Niall John in the team ahead of him? Dylan
Markande at the moment, it seems to be under 23s a bit easy for him at the moment.
Yeah,
it's quite easy for him. We're trying to show the goal, guys. Give us a sec. Give us a second. So maybe if he's got 2 consecutive hat tricks, I remember when there was talk about Ollie Skip. That I remember when Ollie Skip was playing for the under-23s, and he was doing really well, and there was a lot of talk about him. Then he finally got his move. He finally got his chance in the first team.
Yeah.
And maybe that's maybe Markande will very soon.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that he scored 2 hat-tricks, but it's actually not 2 hat-tricks.
Oh.
It's 4 goals in 2 games. He scored in the under-23s game against Chelsea. Oh, what a game that was.
Here we are. We're getting out.
All right, here you go. Have a look at this goal, people.
Just give us a sec.
Ricochet fell in his way, but he's...
This is Dylan.
You haven't seen much of Markande.
Absolute
The first 23 minutes suggest he's got a real eye for goal. That's 2 very strong left-footed finishes. Cresswell and Jenkins unable to stop him in his tracks. And it's defeat.
What a
and the keeper doesn't really have much chance. I know it's...
Show it again.
One more time.
One more time.
Ricochet fell in his way, but he's... you haven't seen much of Markande. The first 23 minutes suggest he's got a real eye for goal. That's 2 very strong left-footed finishes. Cresswell and Jenkins unable to stop him in his tracks.
Oh, was that a nutmeg as well?
And it's defeat.
And
the keeper doesn't really have much chance.
Like,
I know it's...
reminds me a bit of Marcus Edwards, how he looked like in the under-23s as well.
Does that bode well or not?
Huh? Well, it doesn't bode well for our first team, but, you know, he's a talent. He's an absolute talent, Marcus Edwards. And, you know, he's doing well in Portugal at the moment. I just hope Markande doesn't have the same mentality as Marcus Edwards.
Yeah, true. Is he doing all right now still in Portugal, Edwards?
Yeah, I think he had a good season last year.
Actually, talking of players doing all right abroad, Eric Lamella's got his 3rd goal in 2 games.
Everywhere you go. Always take Eric Lamela, yeah, he's tripled his goal tally from last season.
Unbelievable.
He's had 2 sub appearances. The first game he came on at half time, scored 2 goals. This game he came on with like half an hour to go, 25 minutes to go.
No, he came on half time again.
Half time again. Oh, I thought he came on a bit later. But anyway, he scored the last minute winner in the 92nd minute or something.
With his right foot. With his right foot, Lamela seems to be killing it over in Spain for Sevilla. They seem to be loving him at the moment. 3 goals in his first 2 games.
Unbelievable. It's too easy for him out there. It's too easy for him out there.
Goal machine. They didn't know what they were getting.
Unbelievable. Eric Lamela.
Yeah, so he seems to be killing it out in Sevilla right now. So fair play to him. Wish him all the best. And he seems to be absolutely smashing it. So I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, definitely. Have you got any more news to talk about?
No, not specifically. Is anyone there in the back end? Let's see if we can get people on.
Just to let you know, the link is in the community section right now if you want to come on and talk to us about anything Spurs related. There's been, you know, a lot of drips and drabs of news today. Obviously, we had the big news about Adama Traore yesterday, about him potentially coming to Spurs. I mean, Ryan Taylor Sport from the Daily Express, so I don't know if it holds too much weight, but I'll bring it to you anyway. And he says Traore's exit is now looking just a matter of time, with Tottenham expected to change the option to buy to an obligation to buy, which could be enough to sweeten Wolves with Adama keen on the move.
Well, it did make me laugh yesterday reading that Spurs' opening bid for Adama Traore was 5 million in cash plus a 40 million option to buy at the end of next season. I was like, oh, the audacity from Daniel Levy knows no bounds. Knows no bounds. And maybe that's where Man City get it from.
Yeah.
Honestly, because
they were trying to Daniel Levy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then Levy's the master at that. And the master at
no one will Daniel Levy.
No one does a derisory bid like Daniel Levy.
Exactly.
that's he's the king. He's the king of derision.
What about Arsenal's bid for Luis Suarez back in the day? That was probably king of derisory bids.
Well, everyone clowns on that, but they were just trying to activate a release clause. So yeah. I don't know what the whole big issue was. It was just funny because they put £1 on top, but that's what they were trying to do.
But why do they need to put £1 on top to meet the? Was the release clause £1 on top of whatever the price was?
I guess so.
How come it wasn't accepted in the end?
Apparently it should have been. Apparently Liverpool broke the law or something.
I see.
Apparently Liverpool should have accepted the bid. They're just like, well, we're not accepting it and sue us.
And then why didn't they sue them?
They didn't.
Why?
Don't know.
It's ridiculous why they didn't. If that was Daniel Levy, he would be taking them right to court.
Of course, he's going to go in a massive legal battle.
Oh, he would take them right to court. Is there anyone waiting? Jake? Adam, you want to turn your camera on and we can get you on?
Yeah, the more I think of the Adama Traore deal, the more I'm starting to think it. I'm more starting to like the thought of it.
I really like the thought of it. I think
I'm sure there will be games where I'm tearing my hair out.
Yeah, of course.
There will be. But you know what? At the very least, it's going to be a lot of fun. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Adama's a very fun player to watch.
I think he's a better player than Lucas Moura. I know Lucas Moura's goal returns is better and stuff like that, but I think I would rather Adama Traore in my team than Lucas Moura.
It's a tough one.
It's a
tough one.
Because I think that Adama naturally kind of, you have to put 2 free men on him because of his sheer physicality and everything like that. And if we played a front three of Son, Kane and Adama, it would free up so much space for Kane and Son. And also, with better players around him, Traore's crossing is not bad. He's got a good ball delivery into the box. It's his finishing that really lets him down. So I think if he can get the ball in the box to a Son, to a Kane, he'd get so many assists. So many assists.
Also, it's just annoying. Like, I'd love if we had Adama, I'd love another target man in there. Because he gets so many crosses in the box.
Yeah,
you could literally play the percentage game and just pump crosses into the box and see how many headers you can get. And if you had a proper target man in there helping out like Kane or something, then that really could prove a lot of worth to us. But yeah, I think Adama. I think that he's just got qualities that no other player has. He's just got these certain unique qualities that I think. When you have an opportunity to bring it into your team, if you can mould him in a way which can suit you, then he can do things that no one else can do.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely worth having.
Yeah, and he frightens the living daylights out of defenders. Defenders are shit scared of him. No one wants to come up against Adama Traore.
And it'll be interesting to see how he performs in a team where... Because at Wolves, you saw it on Sunday at Wolves. Yes, obviously they've got other good players, but literally... Like 80% of their attacks went through him. So much goes through him. Like always passing it to him all the time and giving him the ball. It'd be interesting to see how he does at a team like Tottenham where he wouldn't be seeing the ball as much. It wouldn't be the emphasis on him wouldn't be as big. But then maybe when he does get the ball, he can make more of an impact potentially. Because we've got other players that teams need to think about. It'd be interesting to see how that kind of affects his game and how much better or worse that makes him. And that would be interesting. I would like to see that.
What annoys me is that people just look at his goal return and just just brush him off straight away. Football is just not just about a goal return. There's so many more factors involved, and I think that the way he impacts a game, the way he crosses the ball into the box, I think is unbelievable. And like you say, his physical attributes, he offers something that no other player in this league can offer, and I think that is so valuable to a football club. I really do.
Yeah, I think so. And I still think at 40 million, is a bit much. As much as I like what he brings,
million.
Huh?
I would.
Last week I would have said I said I wouldn't, and I do kind of think it's overpaying, only based on what he's shown at Wolves, like over the past few years in terms of consistency and his lack of final product. I still think that's worth something, but I think if Nuno has a belief that he can unlock something that hasn't yet been unlocked in Traore, then I believe it could even be a bargain. In a weird way. I think if we're paying for the player he is now, it's overpaying. But if we buy him and unlock something he hasn't shown yet, which is entirely possible, then I think it could be a bargain.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
I think it's a good deal either way. I think even with the attributes that he's showing now, I think it could be a good deal. Yeah, even with the attributes now, without like him improving his goal output, I would still pay the 40 million.
I think he would have to improve his goal output.
Me personally, I would still pay the 40 million.
I think he does. I think as much because you saw how well Son and Kane did last season in terms of goals, right? But it still wasn't enough. Like we need other players. We need other players to contribute. And if Traore comes in, unless he ups Son and Kane's goal output exponentially, which is possible, unless he does that, like if he comes in for 40 million and gets 2 goals, like he needs to be getting more than that.
What if he gets like 15 assists?
Yeah, fine, that's fine, but he has to be doing that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course. And I think that the assist thing will obviously happen with better players around him. With better players around him, with the Kane, with the Son in the box to feed off his chances, I think it would be absolutely second to none. And when you look at the game, Spurs against Wolves on the weekend, we were talking off air before about it. How many times did he get good deliveries in the box that weren't capitalised on?
Yeah, a few times.
The majority of those chances, if that happens the other way around, if he's in a Spurs shirt and Kane and Son are in the box, we capitalise on those chances. Or at least some of them anyway. Yeah.
So I think, and I just think he's a player who will just get us off our seats whenever he gets the ball. You know, if there's space to run into on a counter-attack, there's no stopping him. There is absolutely no stopping him. And he's just got that strength to hold people off. You can play long balls into him. He can take it down. He can hold the ball. He can hold off anyone. He can hold off. There's no one he can't hold off. So as much as he might frustrate, I'm sure there'll be games he frustrates us. The qualities he'll bring to us could definitely bring us to a new level, I'm hoping.
Imagine counter-attacking against like a Man City who play a really high line with Son and Adama getting in behind and Kane like dropping back and stuff like that.
And something
something
that he does more than Lucas as well, which we saw against us, was he runs in behind a lot more.
Yeah,
you saw that with the one-on-one.
Yeah,
like that one moment where he ran in behind and got the one-on-one. Where do you ever see Lucas do that? He never runs in behind. That's my biggest frustration with Lucas.
Son does it.
Yeah, but my biggest frustration with Lucas is he has all this pace.
We've said it time and time again, haven't we?
Yeah, but he feels like he needs to beat someone. Adama is more willing to run in behind than someone like Lucas Moura is, which is always annoying me.
We've got a super chat here from Ribsy85 saying, if you want to play counter-attack but make it still look exciting for the fans, Adama is a good shout. And Brandon Troller says, love the potential Traore deal. I just worry it gives Levy an excuse not to bring in a proper right back because Traore can sort of slot in there. Yeah, what do you think about Adama at right wing back? Right back?
I think there are maybe some games it can work, but I wouldn't want to do it consistently. Adama right wing back.
But let's say one game, really dying for like an attacking right back, and our options are Tanganga, Doherty, and Traore. Who would you put there?
Yeah, I think it can. Like if you're playing against a team, let's say we're playing Norwich, for example, at home, and well, not Norwich because they're quite an attacking team, or like let's say
Watford.
Yeah, Watford, right, at home, and we need to kind of be on the attack, and they're sitting deep, make it difficult for us. If we can add Adama, right, to the right wing back and make him an extra option, and then we have Adama right wing back, and then we also have a front three of Son, Kane, and I don't know, Lucas or Gil or something. That can make us a lot more formidable in those kind of games. If we're playing against, a high quality team, he'll probably get found out. But if he's playing against a team where he's tasked with attacking as much as possible, kind of in that right wing back position, then I think it could potentially work. It could potentially work, and he could provide an outlet to basically provide to put crosses in consistently without anyone stopping him, basically. So I think in these kind of games where he doesn't have too much defending to do, I think it definitely could work.
Yeah, I agree. Anyone else coming on? Luke C with the super chat here saying, it doesn't say anything, it's just a super chat, so thank you very much, Luke. And we've got 1,200 people watching, only 190 likes. So everyone scroll down, smash that like button, smash that subscriber button. Anything else? I mean, we don't have any callers.
Yeah, no one will call in. No one want to call in. Like the rendezvous. Where's the rendezvous in community section?
It's in the community section, yeah.
Yeah, so someone come on. Let's have a chat about Spurs.
Bob Spur TV with the big super chat. Thank you very much, Bob. He says, yo, have just never rated Traore, but I trust Nuno, and of course I'm fickle. If he performs, I'll be the first reaching for the Kleenex. Think 40 million is too much. Other positions are a priority.
Yeah, I think he's not wrong there. I think other positions are a priority.
I agree.
God Save the Skip says, any development on a backup striker search needs someone like Fernando Llorente. That's on. He's been tweeting us. You can also tweet us at WeAreTottenhamTV. We'll react to any of your tweets.
The thing is with Adama Traore, if he was to come in, I think it fills a few holes because he can play on either wing. He can play up front as well.
Yeah,
So,
I think you can play up front, but I wouldn't trust
like
him
third
up
choice,
front.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even fourth choice under Dane. But you've got, if he does come in, you've got the right wing, you've got Adama and Mora. Left wing, you've got Sonny and Bergwijn. Up top, you've got Kane and Scarlett, where Son and Gil as well. He can play any of them. And then so basically, you've got really good options there. I'd be happy to go into the season with those as our attacking options.
I think, Son was obviously second choice striker in this formation. I still think you have Son and Kane there as striking options. You don't. I feel like physically, we're still relying a lot on Kane because I think there's no pure target man as an option apart from Kane who can kind of play that role. So I would like still one more as a target man, someone who's really physical.
You'd still be happy to go into the season with what we got if Adama comes in.
Yeah, I think it should be enough. It should be enough. But I'm just trying to think because there's probably a lot of pressure on Son because if he's playing left wing and back up to Kane, so he's playing every game pretty much. So I'm worried he might get burnt out.
Well, you got Gil who can come in. You got Bergwijn who can come in.
And then you're dropping Son and playing Gil for Kane. I guess you could do that, or Bergwijn. Yeah. I mean, it should be enough firepower. I think going into the season, and it should have enough weapons. And have Dane Scarlett as third choice, although Scarlett didn't do much in the Pacos game. So yeah, I think you're still lacking a target man, but I think it should be enough going into the season to compete.
Miguel with the super chat says Traore is a player's player. He drags midfielders to help the right back. That's why Neves had such a good game because Adama dragged out Skip and Pierre.
Yeah, it's true. I definitely contributed to it. That's 100% true. And it meant those centre mids were stretched and they couldn't cover all the ground.
And Neves was brilliant, wasn't he?
And he was unbelievable, Neves. What a great game he had.
Brandon Troller with the super chat again. He says, what's your thoughts on a Ndombele McKennie swap deal? Been watching McKennie for a long while now and he's got potential to be Højbjerg plus goals. I mean, I brought this up on a live stream a few days ago just as a complete joke, but it's a deal that I would love to see happen or that I can see happening. But Fabrizio Romano said there's nothing to it whatsoever.
Yeah, he said it's unlikely. He said it's unlikely that McKennie is going to leave as much as people keep pushing it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's an actual possibility, but I guess it's something you have to seriously consider when Ndombele is wanting out. What other tweets have people been tweeting? Ellie Galbraith Knapp says, totally agree with Adama possibility, but would it limit or put a ceiling on Lucas and Bergwijn, or would it be an addition? I think Lucas.
What does he mean? Put a ceiling on?
I guess would it stop them from growing? I guess. I think at Lucas Moura, at 29 years of age, he is what he is pretty much. I don't think he's getting any better than he is. Yeah. So I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I just think I don't think bringing Adama is going to put a ceiling on Lucas. I think that ceiling's already there on Lucas Moura. In terms of Bergwijn, potentially because I do think it's improving, but I think the competition's healthy and whatever Adama has in physicality and dribbling and all that, Bergwijn's got to make up for in his ability to
have top options.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
That's the facts. If we're going to not sign players because it's going to stifle some of the players in the squad, then the players in the squad clearly not good enough. You know what I mean? That's the situation.
Because they should thrive in these situations. Exactly. That's what you need,
Exactly. So competition is healthy. Not too much competition. You don't want 3 or 4 players in each position, but I think 2 good players fighting out for each position. That's what you want. That's the ideal situation, You don't. Man City don't look at their squad. Pep Guardiola doesn't look at his squad and he's like, oh, Sterling's not going to thrive if I sign Jack Grealish. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So if you wanna be a top club, you need to have a top club mentality, and buying 2 top players in each position, that's top club mentality.
Definitely. So yeah, completely agree. Nate Hengen says, I think 40 million may be a bit too much for Adama, but just because his goals and assists aren't great doesn't mean he isn't a great player. What he offers on and off the ball is amazing, and he would fit in nicely to this team. Striker, right back, and maybe another centre-back priority. If Adama's a possibility, does that for you? So you're saying striker is no longer a priority if we get Adama in?
I would still like to sign one, but I would say I'm happy to go in with what we've got. I'm not going to be like right now. I'm not happy to go into the season with what we've got. I still think there's a hole in the squad that need to be filled. I think that if we go into the season with on the right Adama and Lucas, on the left Hill, Bergwijn and Son, and Kane up top. You've got Son who can fill in up top. You've got Adama who can fill in up top. You've got Dane Scarlett there as well, who's probably still too young, but he's still there. He's still in and around the first team. So I think probably I would ideally like another target man up there, but I would be happy to go in with what we have. I don't think it would hold us back, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. But would you, right back and centre back? I think centre back, as much as we all want one, I have a feeling that's gone now. I don't think we're signing a centre back.
Yeah.
I think Sanchez is
agree.
staying.
I
think
agree.
Sanchez is staying. I think that's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah,
I think for me, there's right back and Traore. I don't think we get any more from that between now and the end of the season.
Potentially centre mid if Ndombele leaves.
And potentially centre mid. Yeah, that's what we're getting.
Well, we've got Sissoko, Winks, and Ndombele, who all have their futures up in the air at the moment at centre mid.
Sissoko, Winks, and Ndombele. Yeah.
So, if one of those leaves, we need to bring one in, right?
Mhm.
So, if two of them leave, we need to bring two in.
Well, at the moment, Højbjerg, Skip. Højbjerg, Skip, Dele, Lo Celso. That's 4. If we're playing 4-3-3, you probably want 6, don't you? So at the moment we have Winks and Sissoko. So I guess we want one for one. Yes, if they both leave, you probably want 2. I don't see them both leaving though. I think I would want one of Winks and Sissoko is going to leave.
Please, can both of them leave? Please.
I can't see it.
Michael Hellman, welcome to Silver and welcome to the We Are Tottenham family. Great to have you. And Hugh Ritzemmer Carter says Kane staying will just be more endless chatter about him leaving. Do you think this is a bad for morale in the squad? I think 100% time to move on.
No, I don't think. I think having Kane around is a positive, however way you look at it. I think having that kind of player in and around the team, as much as whatever he did try and leave, you were better with him in the team than without him. So I think if we would have sold him and refreshed striking positions and got like Martinez and Vlahovic in, I think that could have been good. But I also don't think it's bad him being here. I don't think that's a bad thing because I think they've known him for a long time. They know how he is and what professional he is, and I think he'll be fine.
Mates, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're good friends. He's friends with most of the squad, so I don't think it'll be anything about that.
Connection Spurs says, hi guys, really nice show. I think we should be getting a playmaker along with Adama, assuming Kane won't go to Man City. Top 4 Chicos with a smiley face.
Top 4 Chicos.
He's saying he wants a playmaker and Adama Traore.
Yeah, I would love a playmaker as well. But it just seems as though Nuno's going in a different direction in this team.
Well, we have been linked with Aouar.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, but not seriously, have we? It's like tentative links. Maybe we'll get serious
Romano
later.
said something's going to happen on the last day, apparently, with Aouar.
Oh, he said I wouldn't...
Something could happen on the last day.
No, he said wait till the last... Not could happen on the last day. He said it could be on option until the last day. Mm-hmm. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some legs into that as well.
ATX7 Gaming says he wants Tomiyasu, Aouar and Traore before the end of the window.
That wouldn't be bad. Tomiyasu, Aouar and Traore. It's not bad. It's pretty good.
The thing is, if we get Tomiyasu, Aouar and Traore and get rid of a few of the Deadwood players, yes, it would be great going into the season, but I still feel that the right back options, there's not enough attacking options there for the right back.
No, there's not. But no, there's not. It's true. It's true. But that's the hand we've been dealt, I feel.
Yeah.
That's the one, and I feel like we screwed up with the Doherty deal. We're now stuck with him.
Why didn't we go for Dumfries? Made no sense to me.
Yep. Should have gone for him for cheap.
13 million.
Yep, cheap. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense why we didn't do it.
Ozzy Baby says, I'm just concerned Adama will be another Aaron Lennon. What's wrong with Aaron Lennon?
Yeah, I liked Aaron Lennon.
Where we are constantly talking about potential without ever truly fulfilling it. But look, Aaron Lennon never got the goal return which he could have got, in my opinion. But I think that he got a lot of assists, Aaron Lennon, didn't he? And I think for a time, he was one of the top right wingers in the Premier
Well,
League.
he started for England at the World Cup in 2010. He was starting for England at the World Cup because he was the best English right winger. He was one of the best right wingers in the league, I remember at the time. And I remember that season, actually, he was definitely the best winger in the league, and he got a quite big injury midway through the season, and he didn't get back into the team until later on, and that kind of stifled him. But Aaron Lennon was very good when he was at his best.
I loved Aaron
very
Lennon
good.
at Spurs. I loved Aaron Lennon.
They couldn't stop him when he was at
Lennon
his best.
on the right, Bale on the left.
Oh, it's class. Nothing wrong.
Because they both had such different styles, Bale and Lennon, and it worked so well.
I think this is another case of people remembering Lennon at the end of his Spurs career and thinking that represents his whole career at Spurs.
100%.
When Lennon, when he was at his best, was a class right winger.
100%.
If Adama is the same as Lennon at his best, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. All right, let's bring the Joracle on. I'm just going to go.
Oh. Okay. Jory, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How about you guys?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. How's the last 24 hours been treating you?
Fine. A lot of rumors, not much in hand, so to speak.
Let me ask you this, Jory. Actually, yesterday we were talking about Kane a bit, and you said it would be best if Spurs and Kane parted ways, and we kind of had that regeneration, and we got the money in. The news coming out in the last 24 hours that at this late stage in the window, Tottenham sources in the Tottenham camp believe the deal now is virtually impossible to get done in the last week of the window, with Levy refusing to be forced to sell in the last week. What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, logically, I think that makes sense. But the thing I always feel with this is when it comes to Levy, it's always when you hear the most kind of a conclusive final type statement, then something comes around and flips it 180, so sometimes when I hear those statements, I'm almost like, oh, okay, now it's gonna happen then.
Now it's getting close.
Yeah, exactly. So but logically the time is not a friend, but I still think everybody's got some margin in there, and if the big domino falls, I do think that there might be still room. Maybe it's a question of just upping a little bit to get the do's and deal or whatever. I don't know how the landscape looks of that right now. I think it's changed from a couple of weeks ago for sure, but I still think that if it comes through with Man City, then or whoever, then it might. I mean, it's a domino thing, So I don't think it's impossible, but I do believe it's worse every day that passes, the less likely it should be, at least, But with Levy, that's how I feel with Levy. Is the more sure you feel about something in terms of Levy, the more he'll show that the opposite is true, really. So
yeah, but Jory, the only
yes,
offer.
Jory.
The only offer at the moment, according to Alistair Gold and Sami Mokbal, the only offer that Man City have put in is 75 million plus 25 million in add-ons. Is that not just an insulting offer?
Yes, I mean, I don't think that so that must be the whole financial fair play kind of a roof that they're hitting there, or something like that. I do think that 100 in cash plus a player is something, or players maybe even, is something that could get it done. But I don't think Levy is interested in that. I would love to get Laporte in. Because you were touching on it, you were saying you didn't think there was going to come another centre back in, which I think is probably likely right now at this moment, which I think is a huge mistake. This is like we're once again, especially with this Traore rumor now, we're losing sight of what is important. Like for me, number 1 and 2 is the centre back. We need now a new like duo that's gonna be the rock in our team, and we only have half of the duo, maybe, Romero. Hopefully Romero will like what we've seen already from Romero, and what the stats tell us from Italy is that he could do well with a cooler head around him. So I think a Laporte would fit that bill perfectly, and then I say, like, then we have two aces. From there we can build from there we have a foundation where adding the right winger or whatever, these are luxuries, which we can play around with, because we're clearly going to go for a very solid middle, which I love also, because our attack is going to be so fast, and clearly Nuno's going for quite counter. Like, he's going to go counter, but I think when teams are sitting on us and all that, he's going to go for high press type style, which I like. I mean, that's what we have now. We have speed. We've always had kind of abundance of speed in the squad. Now, if we get Traore in, we'll be probably the best in the league with speed. I mean, maybe only Liverpool or something is going to be more dangerous than us in terms of speed. So I feel like the right back is the huge issue now, but I feel like the center back and the right back, that's like Traore, that's fine, do a good deal, whatever, but this is what we should be concentrating on. I also feel like, since Lo Celso is not really clicking still, like, the creativity in the midfield is a bit of a problem as well. I still hope Lo Celso is going to be that man. But if Tank is leaving, then it's kind of a hole in the whole system.
What do you think of? Obviously, Dele's been reinventing himself in the first two games, but do you think he has the ability to solve that creative problem in the centre, or do you think his profile is a bit different?
I don't think. I mean, I think probably he has the ability. I just don't think maybe it's his temperament, and I actually think he's a little bit uneasy still in the midfield from last year, like losing all those balls. Like, I think he realizes his weakness there, and we know how he's not good on the ball. It's very easy to bully him off the ball, really. That's the same problem with wings and stuff like that. So, and I think now, thank God, Dele realizes it and admits it, and he's working on it, and he's changing his profile, and he's realized, probably along with Nuno, that one of my strengths is my athletic ability, my physical ability, my ability to run a lot, which is really helping out. I love what I've been seeing from him, and like, I can bear him losing the ball once or twice if he's working like that in general. I can't stand watching Winks, limp along and then lose the ball in the same way and not put in that kind of a work. But I think Dele's, he could definitely fill that role if he was playing, like, if he was spending most of his time in the final third. But I don't think maybe that's his new role. I think his new role is slightly behind that, and exactly coming in with the late runs and stuff like that. I think we're going to see a lot of great work from Dele, and now he's adding on the discipline and the work rate. Then I couldn't be happier with him. I think, for me, I don't really see it necessarily in the system, but for me, I still say it, like, everybody is underestimating Lucas. We have to realize that, okay, Lucas has his problems and all that, but Lucas has always been put aside, and a little bit, Lucas has been in a conflict a little bit with Kane. When you build things around Kane, Lucas goes at best on the wing. I've said it. Lucas is the best in the same hole that Kane now is the best. So they're a little bit like, you need to almost go with one or the other. Or you put Lucas on the wing and he'll be an all right winger. He's not a great winger in my view. He's a great false nine, like Kane. We have
Interesting.
two really good false nines, and that's Kane and Lucas. Kane is by far the best, of course, easy like that's just a matter of stats right now. But I think Lucas is probably more beneficial for the speed system that we're building now than Kane. But still, we need somebody creative higher up there. So that for me, that's like the main problems now. Is I would say right back is the biggest problem. Another centre back, and then some creativity in the middle would. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that Tange is going now, or won't be the Tange that he's supposed to be. You know. So.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that when you Tottenham again potentially losing sight of priorities and stuff, because it's a constant problem we've had over the years. Example, last year we were desperate for another centre back. That was like our number one priority throughout the summer, and we got distracted by the signings of Bale and these signings, and we lost sight of the fact that we really desperately needed a centre back, and it cost us. I remember when. In January, when Son and Kane were both injured for long periods, we desperately needed a forward, and we ended up signing Bergwijn, and we all got a bit excited because we got a new player in Bergwijn, but it's actually not the player we needed. We needed a striker, and I feel like potentially it could be happening again with Adama. As much as I think could be a good buy, I think you might be right. I think it could be another case of Spurs signing a player who's not a priority.
It's a little bit like that. I feel like that, but at least with Adama, kind of like what you said with Bergwijn. I think this year we're gonna see Bergwijn explode, and like we saw, like the way he went past those three players, you know, the skill and speed that guy has. It's just he can score. It's not like he's not like Adama in that way. We know that. He was a goal machine in Holland and so on, you know. So it's just a question of when that confidence is going to click. But I'm even without the goals, Bergwijn is very valuable. Kind of maybe in the same way that Adama would be valuable in our system. It's basically like the speed and the aggressiveness is going to make this defense have to deal with it, meaning that it's going to create rooms for our real goal scorers, you know. So I think, you know, in that sense, having these two guys on the wings, for example, is going to make a lot of joy for whatever we put in the middle there, you know. So, but I definitely agree. I think it's one of those kind of that grabs our imagination, you know, and like on the final days, and we kind of lose a little bit of sight of what's really needed here, you know. So
I agree. I think you make a good point there. So I think we'll see the last few days of the window to go. 1 week to go until the end of the window. Hopefully there's a lot of work that does get done in this last week, because we definitely need it. But I get the feeling there's going to be a few holes come the season starts. I can't imagine there isn't going to be. I can't believe it's taken us this long to even offload Winks, or Winks as well, but mostly Aurier and Sissoko, we've wanted them gone all summer. And yet we're going to the last week of the window and they're still here.
Sky Sports just reported a few days ago, Tottenham put Sissoko and Aurier up for sale.
It's like, where have you been? We did that at the end of last season.
We've been trying for a couple of years, probably. But I was going to ask you guys as well, because now we have the sporting director. Do you still feel like he's the driving force in all of this? Or, like, for me, the Traore thing feels a little bit Levy-like Levy was at that game, and like, let's call them. Let's see.
I think Nuno's got to be the driving force behind the Traore thing.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
Yeah. I mean, we know that Nuno loves it, but I'm just thinking, like, because we were talking about it before. There's been a little bit of rumors in a couple of weeks now about this, but I felt like Levy went to the game, saw what kind of trouble he gave us, and like the day after the rumor, like
he consistently gives us trouble, though, doesn't he, Jory?
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. And I mean, I think that this is definitely not I mean, especially if we can make it with this without paying that much up front, it's a good deal, no problem. I have no problem with it. It's just like, this is not what our problem is right now, you know.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah, sure, we could do with a little bit of strengthening on the right there, but in general, it's the defense still. We still have a huge right back hole, and I'm still not happy with the way. And this is also Dyer and Sanchez have been doing a great job these first couple of games. And just like last season, you know, we get lulled into a little bit of sleep. I can promise you, it's coming, guys. It's not gone or anything.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm sure that Nuno probably is the guy to help them both out. I think what we're seeing from Nuno is like a coaching level that's much higher than we saw on the Mourinho. And a little bit of a Mourinho 2.0, I feel like. It's not a completely change in philosophy or anything. It's just, it's backed up by much better physical form of our squad. Like, our squad is in much better shape. Like I think you were saying, Ben, like, so many games last year, they just didn't have the stamina to finish it. It was like, you're going to lose your shape, you're going to lose your form in your system if you can't run anymore, you know. So, and that we saw that again and again. And a 1-0, like we did yesterday and the game before, is going to become a 1-1 or like a 1-2 or whatever, you know, like we saw so many times. So I think just fixing that is a huge upgrade from last season, you know. So I'm happy to see that. But once again, guys, I would love to get this Harry Kane issue settled either way now. I'm skeptical, as you know me, I've always thought this was a done deal. But I think a lot of players kind of messed it up now, and it might not actually get over the line. I still think, I'm still leaning towards it's going to get over the line.
I can't see it happening now. I just can't see it happening.
But I'm just going on the intent in the Kane camp and from Man City. Like, they're so adamant on it. So I'm still.
But we hold all the cards, though, don't we?
Yeah, sure. But I don't think all these Italian deals are as dead as they appear. I think, you know, put an extra 5 million, an extra 10 million in hand, whatever, you know, and you get it done, you know. So and we've both seen it in our own history, like how frantic it can get the last couple of days, and we're constantly being told by the Italians that Paratici is like the ultimate frantic last day kind of a dealer. So let's see what's happening, what's going to happen the next couple of days. Eh?
Yeah, Levy's going to break the fax machine. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. For sure.
Jory, absolute pleasure as always, mate.
Nice
and
one, Jory.
Likewise, guys. Take care.
Nice to speak to you, mate.
Bye. Super chat here from Richard Blackdog saying, carrying on from that Antonio celebration. ... Nobody puts Baby or Levy in the corner. Kane going nowhere.
Or because Antonio lifted up a life-sized placard of himself or something. I don't know what Richard Blackdog is referring to. Not is talking about though. Nobody.
All right, let's get on the next guest. It's Adam COYS. Adam, how's it going, my friend?
Yeah, all good. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Good stuff.
So yeah, there's a bit of news to talk about. In terms of Harry Kane, in your opinion, is he staying now? Is it too late for him to?
He's Tottenham for another season.
And do you think that the kind of bid that Man City put in, is that an absolute slap in the face to Tottenham? 75 million plus
if you
25.
want to call it a bid, I think bid's a bit of a generous word. Yeah, no, he's staying. He's not going anywhere. I think he's realised that. I think he's seen that the fans are back behind him again. I think he realises that there's probably much better agents out there than his Mickey Mouse brother.
Yeah, so, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's going to be a Spurs player this season.
Yeah, you think that's done deal now? Like no chance. Do you think even if Man City stump up the cash, there's a chance of him going?
I think it's too late. I think it's too late, and I think Daniel Levy is just at that point where he must just feel that they're taking him for a ride. And also from the Kane stance, if you want the player, pay the money.
Exactly.
And at no way have they done that or shown any intent. I think they're probably thinking they need a striker this season because obviously Aguero's gone to Barcelona. But I think they were just thinking, oh, we'll get Kane. Kane will definitely come. And now all of a sudden he's not. Next season there could be other striker options, and Kane might decide by then, actually, you didn't want me then, I'm not going to go now.
It's a strange one with Man City because obviously you can clearly see how much they need a striker in their squad. They've signed Jack Grealish for 100 and then put in a bid for Harry Kane for 75, whatever. If they only just didn't put their weight about and not sign Grealish, surely Kane would be over the line by now for them, surely.
Yeah, well, that would make the most sense.
Yeah.
But I think they were almost thinking that they could just bully us. I mean, with all respect to Villa, Grealish was always going to go there, and Villa need to sell their prize player like Spurs have done so many times. And I think they probably mistaken Spurs to be the same thing. They just thought, oh yeah, no, we'll offer something for Kane, and they'll snap it up because we're a bigger club. And financially, yeah, they are a bigger club, but the way they've gone about it is completely wrong, which is, it's good for us. It's amazing for us.
I'm not complaining.
No,
Rumours hot off the press yesterday about Adama Traore. It's a very split opinion in the fan base if they want him in or not. Where do you stand?
So I'm Traore in.
Definitely.
Go on. And the reason I'm thinking like this is because if you think of teams like Liverpool, teams like City, teams like United, as soon as their key players get on the ball, it sucks 2 defenders or sometimes 3 defenders onto them. If you've got Traore holding things up on the right-hand side and pulling a few defenders over, Sonny and Dele are going to be in acres of space.
Yeah,
acres and acres and acres of space. My only concern with Traore deal is I don't know if I've seen too much of him defensively. If he's fitting in instead of Mora is very, very, very good at tracking back. He will always run and run and run, and he does get a lot of interceptions. I've not really followed Wolves too closely, but I don't know whether Traore has that in his game.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad option to bring off the bench either Adama or Lucas Moura against tight legs, would it?
Last 30 minutes, defences would be all over the place. If they've had to fight up against Son and Kane and Bergwijn and Moura for 60-odd minutes, and then you bring on an arguably faster player and definitely stronger player, it's defences are going to hopefully fall apart. This is assuming that deal gets over the line, but I'm in the team in camp on this one.
But Adam, what do you think of Jory's point he made just in the article that with the signing of Adama, could we again, like we have in previous windows, be losing sight of what is actually needed in this squad? Where the biggest holes are if we do get distracted by a big deal for Adama Traore and nothing else gets done.
But we're Tottenham. That's what we always do. It's history repeating itself. And to be fair, if we're going to be distracted by a player, I would rather it be a player that actually brings something good to the squad and not just we need to fill a hole.
Yeah, not George, Kevin Nkudu or Clinton and G, basically.
Why did we sign those players?
$30 million down the drain.
I'm hoping obviously he's got loads of Premier League experience. He's still really young. I'm just hoping that he's also on the fringes of the Spain team, the Spanish national team.
He's got a few caps.
I think he's got 4 or 5 caps, maybe 6.
So I mean that speaks volumes. If we've got a player like that and we're attracting interest, then he wants to come, which is that's massive as well. If he wants to come and play for Spurs and hook up with Nuno, it just seems like it's awfully romantic, and I think Daniel Levy likes that idea. I think he thinks that's the deal that he can push through, whether it's a Nuno deal, whether it's a Paratici deal. Either way, I think if it does come through, I think it is a plus for Tottenham.
Do you think Spurs fans are reading too much into his goal return in the past couple of years?
Goal return's a tricky one because goal return, it assumes that you're one-on-one and you're playing in the last third. Like I said, for me personally, if I can see him bombing up and down the wing and pulling players all over the place and beating players and skinning players for pace, it's just going to leave so much room open in the box. And that's when you want your clinical players to score goals. I mean, Wolves were so unlucky last season when they lost their key man, and they brought in another youngster who couldn't hit a goal for love nor money, could he? And I think for Wolves' perspective, there was so much pressure put on him as the next best thing to do it.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing when he was one-on-one with Lloris at the weekend. I think he was probably thinking it's all down to me to win this game for the team, because their other striker that's obviously now back, he's still got to get back into the flow of things and get going. I think there's so much pressure at Wolves for him to perform. I think if he just absolutely wellies that against Lloris, I think it's probably 1-1. But I think he was overthinking it, and there's a lot of pressure. And I think if he comes to somewhere new with a new squad and obviously an old coach, and he can get his game and work on his game as a single player without that pressure, I think he should be a much better asset than what he is at Wolves at the moment.
Yeah, you think he has the potential to potentially explode if he came to Spurs? Because there's a player there waiting to be unleashed, isn't there, in Adama Traore? You can just see it. He just hasn't quite done it yet at Wolves. But with his qualities, maybe he could become a player we haven't even seen yet at Wolves.
Yeah, I'm personally, I'm really, if he does come, and I hope he does come, but I'd be really excited to see what he can do for Spurs. I don't think you're seeing the true player at Wolves. I think you're seeing almost a player that they're solely dependent on. Because if we're honest, there wasn't a lot of threat from anywhere else on the pitch from them. And I think that probably is quite telling, that they're putting all of their eggs in that basket. Get the ball to Traore. Hopefully he can skin a player. Hopefully he can get someone for pace. And then, sometimes it's a shot and sometimes it's laying it off to another player. So I just think he's trying to do too much at Wolves at the moment. I think he comes to Spurs, he's got other players of a similar quality around him, and better quality, more importantly. And I think he finds his place and helps us get into the top two.
All right,
Adam.
Great
absolute
call, Adam.
Pleasure, mate.
Great
Absolutely
call.
Brilliant call, and hope to speak to you soon, my friend.
No worries. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on. Cheers, mate.
Right.
Any other news?
Is there anyone else in the back end? No, that's it.
All right, so I think
There is one.
Oh,
Dan.
what have we got? Dan.
Oh, let's get Dan. Is it just before
The
school?
Yid
I'm
Kid.
guessing?
It's our daily morning call with the Yid Kid. Come on, let's bring him on.
Just before school, I'm guessing. Is it?
He's trying to say something to us, but I can't hear him. Go on, speak. He says give him 1 second.
All right, give him a sec. Let him get ready.
All right. Do you know what Matt Hayes is talking about in the DM?
Yeah, I do.
What?
Some article.
Okay.
All right, let's get him on.
Yeah, let's bring him on. Yes,
Hey.
Dan.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Excited for the upcoming days of the transfer window. It's gonna be a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, you think so? We've got a lot of work to do, haven't we?
Yeah, but you know who's in charge of the work that we're gonna do. So I'm a little bit worried about it.
Do you think Jory's right when he says Spurs are potentially getting distracted with the Adama deal, and we have other more pressing priorities, or do you think this one is definitely one we should prioritise before the end of the window?
Well, that was a great point, because it's something that has happened a lot down the windows. Maybe we could call us Distraction FC.
Smokescreen FC.
Yeah, I mean, the Gareth Bale one was a great example. We were looking for a center back, and then Daniel Levy signs a club legend, and then all the fans get super excited and don't realize that we don't have a center back. And then he ends up signing Joe Rodon and thinks that that's a good improvement. So, yeah, I'd agree with him. But another thing is that I would like Adama Traore. I think he's a player that would really benefit our squad. I know he can't finish, but still, you look at the other players. I was watching your Tottenham update, and you made a great point. That he's the type of player that can hold up the ball. Two defenders would be having to come up to him to pressure him, and then he'd have Sonny and Kane with space, and they could take that space, and obviously the defenders would be having a field day with that space. So it's gonna be something where Adama Traore it could be a distraction. Another distraction is what I've realized is the past few days I've been looking at the news. Cristiano Ronaldo has been linked to Tottenham.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming. Didn't you know? He's
Start to get
best mates
excited.
with Paratici.
Apparently he's always wanted to play in the Conference League. That's what he said.
He went from the Champions League legend to playing in the Conference League.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait to see Cristiano Ronaldo week in, week out playing with Inter your mom.
Brilliant.
CR7 and 17.
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
What's your priorities now? From now until the end of the window.
I think Tomiyasu.
Really,
He's
he's your number one.
Yeah, he should be on the top of the list because we need look at the players that we're most desperate for right now. A right back and a center back. What positions does Tomiyasu play? Right back and center back. So when Tanganga's fit, we can play Tomiyasu in the center back. But then we have to also remember that Tanganga's injury prone. So we might be saying, oh, he's been doing great this season. He's been doing great. But at the end of the day, Tanganga is probably not going to end up playing the whole season. So it's going to be Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu, I think, could be taking part at right back at one point in the season when Tanganga's not fit and ready to play. So I say Tomiyasu, but then what center back have we mainly been linked to right now? Because the main one before was
We're not. I don't think
Romero.
we're getting another centre back.
You don't think?
No,
you think
no.
Tomiyasu could be a possibility?
I think he could be a possibility, but it's got a bit quiet for me. I mean,
Yeah,
we were
I think
heavily
we've seen-
linked before the Olympics and going into the Olympics, but now
We seem happy
we're
with
just hearing
Sanchez.
nothing.
We seem happy with Sanchez.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to go into it with our centre-back options of Sanchez, Dyer, Romero and Rodon.
You know what the problem is? Eric
Yes,
Dyer and
I do know
Davinson
that.
Sanchez. Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez are just start only.
They're
They
just what,
start-
sorry?
They start only. They
Yeah.
start fantastically. Every season it's the same thing. They start brilliantly. Amazing performances, clean sheets. They call them the Maldinis, the Colombian Maldini, the English Maldini. And then midway through the season, something happens. What happens is that they become shite.
Yeah.
They can't stop a ball to save their life. And then Davinson Sanchez is getting his feet stuck in the ground. Eric Dyer doesn't know how to turn around to clear a ball. And then it starts becoming problem FC. And then we've got Harry Kane coming back for corners to stop us. And then when he clears the ball, there's nobody up top to create a chance after the corner. This is the problem. This is why we can't be looking, oh, obviously they're having a great start to the season, and I'm happy for them. When you wear the Tottenham jersey, all I want is for them to succeed. But it's just a pattern. And you're going to see midway through the season, they're not going to have a fantastic season the whole season. I already know it. Because it happens every season. We saw it last season. They started fantastically. And then midway through the season, they ended up, and then we didn't have any other options to play at centre back.
Yeah, I mean, look, with Eric Dyer, hasn't that already started? I mean, the game against Wolves, right? He makes that mistake on the halfway line that let Wolves go 1-on-1 with the keeper. I mean, if that goes in, surely everyone would be slating Eric Dyer right now, wouldn't they?
They would, but I think if you're going to be slating Eric Dyer for that, you have to remember that Romero is the type of player that in that position he'd also try and do the same thing.
Yeah, true.
He probably would have got through. So if the fans are going to slay him, prepare for Romero. But but Eric Dyer, he's always that player that doesn't think what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He doesn't think of the consequences. It's almost as if
Does that worry you?
It does. It really does. I'll quote the great David Harris here, and he's saying that he thinks he's too good, so he challenges himself. Like, let me defend with my eyes closed. Let me defend without turning around. And then that's what happens. But I don't think he understands that, because last season he had an atrocious season, and then he comes out saying, "Oh, I think I had a great season. It's just the fans that portrayed it to be a bad season." Were you watching yourself?
Clearly not. Clearly not.
It was just it was a confusing thing with Eric Dyer, but I mean, it really is confusing. But hopefully, we end up getting Tomiyasu. He could play center back with Romero. Conference League games are what I want to see Eric Dyer playing. alongside Carter Vickers. That's who Carter Vickers should be punishing, not Romero.
No.
Not Romero.
Carter Vickers shouldn't even be playing in the Conference League.
Yeah, but I just got so mad when I saw the player that we were all hyping about. The player, best signing, even better signing than Raphael Varane, right? And then he gets partnership in his first game with Carter Vickers.
And Ben
Cameron
Davis.
Carter Vickers.
And Ben Davis.
And Ben Davis.
All right, Dan, absolute pleasure always to get you on. Have a good day, and we'll speak to you soon.
I see you, Dan.
All right. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Big up to you. All right.
Any more waiting? Did you say no? Oh, there is someone. I can hear him.
Aravind.
It's the Ben Davis apologist. Sorry, the ultimate Ben Davis apologist. Oh, it's not.
No, Aravind,
you said
Ariane.
Aravind.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not the Ben Davis apologist. Let's bring on Aravind. Aravind, how's it going, mate?
Good. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, great. Good. I'm actually. I don't know why every time Spurs, when it comes to our transfers, we never get whatever we want as fans and for the team. We need a centre back. We need a right back. We don't know what is happening to Tanguy and Ndombele, and we don't know what's happening to Harry Kane, and we have a week left in the transfer window.
Yes, well, this is Tottenham Hotspur. It wouldn't be Tottenham Hotspur if there wasn't scrambling around to go with 7 days left.
But I really want to talk about something, and it's something again which is Sanchez and Dyer. They're really inconsistent, and if Nuno is going to judge by these two performances, we're going to have a really big problem at the back again. And I don't know, we seriously need a centre back. It's either going to be if you can get Tomiyasu, I don't mind it, because he can play either right back or a centre back. If Jaffet is he's a bit injury prone, and if he's injured, then what do we have? We play Doherty at right back. It's going to be horrendous again. So yes. We have a lack of options at the back again, and I don't know what. The thing is that if we can get our priorities right at the back, I seriously, if you're going to spend 40 million on Adama Traore, and you can spend, I would rather spend that on a right back and a centre back, because I have no problems with our attacking options. We have really good attacking options. We have Bergwijn, and if Kane stays, that too. Kane, Son, Bergwijn, Lucas, Brian Hill. We have a lot of good options. I know Adama Traore can bring a different dimension, but it's always that Spurs are not going to is not going to spend 40 million on Adama Traore and going to bring another right back or a centre back. It's not going to happen with us. So if we have that as a budget, we better solve problems at the positions which we have, and the bonus is Adama Traore. That's what I see. I'm not confident with Dyer and Sanchez going on with the next season, and they should be our backup right backs, backup centre backs, with another good centre back pairing up Romero. That's what I see. I don't want them to start. I don't want them to be our starters, and they're given 2 to 3 seasons with us, and they prove that they're not consistent players. I don't know in what ways we are backing them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that I personally would bring in a centre-back and a right-back, but it looks as though we are going to be putting our trust in Dyer and Sanchez yet.
I think that's what happens when you have a new manager and he has to assess his options, doesn't he? And when they're playing well, like obviously you can try and base it on what he's seen before, but since Nuno's come in, Sanchez has been great, right? You can't argue that. Since Nuno's come in. So Nuno is going to put trust in a player who's done well for him since he's come in. He can't just say, well, he didn't do well for Mourinho, so I'm going to chuck him away. He's going to have to trust him. That's how I feel the situation is. Yeah,
I just feel that you need to be judged on previous as well. You need to be judged on previous and how your career has gone. And I think at Tottenham, year in, year out, he just hasn't been good enough. And I think I'm just talking about my personal opinion here. I'm not talking about Nuno's opinion. In my opinion, we need another centre-back to replace one of Dyer or Sanchez, and another right-back. That's the holes in the squad. I agree with Aravind.
And then 2 players which I don't know what's happening with their career. It's Serge Aurier, we don't know where he's going, and Moussa Sissoko. I'm just hearing rumours of him getting swap with Weston McKennie. That's what a deal is. That's
funny you say that. Funny you say that. Romano has just tweeted just now. Tottenham are currently not negotiating with Juventus for Weston McKennie on a potential swap deal with Moussa Sissoko. Both clubs are not interested. Juventus will only sell McKennie if they receive an important bid, more than 25 to 30 million euros. So that deal doesn't look like it's on the cards at all.
Yeah, they clearly need money, Juventus, don't they?
Yeah. So that's just to give you an update, yeah.
So we have a lot of players who are still in the club, and if you see the whole picture, what have we done is just bought a backup goalkeeper, Brian Hill, who is going to be a future, and Romero, which we haven't paid the fees as of now. We just bought him on a loan, which is going to be paid. So what we're just paying, we as a club only have spent 25 million in the transfer market, with getting off Toby Alderweireld and Eric Lamela, who's actually firing up, who's doing really well with Sevilla. So I don't know what's going on with this club. They're getting I agree with Paratici getting this deals, but you need to. I'm hearing rumors he's been back this transfer window, but I have not seen anything, and there's 7 days in the window, and I'm not heard any rumors about anyone who's going to be replaced or going to be get out of it. They're just going with the same squad, and we're going to see the same performances again, and there's no point of yelling at our squad again, because these guys are not doing anything as of now, and I'm actually really worried, and getting Traore is not going to do any sort of help for this club, and we need a centre back and we need a right back, and there are a lot of positions. We get rid of Sissoko, Aurier, and all this stuff. If we can do if we can do that much, I'll be really happy with the squad. I don't want to Traore if that's the only signing they're going to bring in. It makes no sense. I know he's not like a player who's going to change. It's good for a long time, but I'm really not happy, and we need to get a centre back and a right back, and if that's the only thing we can get, I'll be more than happy. But it's not a great transfer window, but we need to solve the issues which is really needed than bringing in the other positions. Other clubs does it. I don't know why we don't.
Yeah, I don't think we are going to be bringing in a centre-back. A right-back, potentially. But look, there are 7 days left of this window, so I think it's important to assess it when the window is actually finished. So I think that, look, let's see how it all plays out, and we'll speak again in 7 days, and then we can assess the transfer window.
Hopefully we have something to shine in our squad by then.
Let's see. I mean, it's worth noting that Paratici and Levy both like the latter stages of the window. So let's see how it plays out, and we'll see if we can bring in or get anyone out. So Aravind, thanks for calling in, and I'll speak to you soon.
Sure.
See you later, mate.
See you, Aravind. Yeah. But no, what I'm saying about I agree we need a new centre back. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing we need one. I'm just saying Nuno has come in 6 weeks, right? And he has to assess who he has and what he feels he needs.
Yeah.
And if Sanchez is doing a good job for him, right? He's gonna say, look, I can't understand Nuno.
But can you judge a whole season on 2 games?
No, but he's only been here 6 weeks.
I know.
So what else can he judge it on?
On how Sanchez has been in his career.
No, but he can't judge him on that, I don't think.
Why not?
I don't think he can judge him on that, because that he's not in training every day with him, and he doesn't know how he's been managed. He can only come into the job and assess his options with what he can see. And if he sees I've got Sanchez here and he thinks, okay, I quite like the look of this guy and I'm going to give him a go, like he can only assess it. And what, like if Mourinho stayed, right, and Mourinho was a manager, he would know he doesn't want Sanchez anymore because of how he performed under him. But if he's doing a good job for Nuno, like what is Nuno supposed to do? Oh, he's doing a good job for me, but I want to bin him off because for the last manager he wasn't good.
Yeah, but he was on the transfer list up until like last week, pretty much.
Yeah, but that's changed.
Yeah, it's changed because we probably can't get him out the door and we can't get the fees
Nuno has
that we
more
want
trust
in for him. Is it because Nuno has more trust in him? Or is it because that we can't get the fee that we want? We don't know. We don't know what the situation is.
Why would you take him off transfer list because you can't get the fee you want?
Because no one's coming in for him, and maybe we can't get anyone in either that we want to get in.
I don't know. I feel like maybe Nuno's putting more trust in him. I think that's what you got to do. You got to put trust in him if you can't get him out the door.
Because he's got no option.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah, I agree with you. Because he's got no option, he has to put trust in him. But right now, I would still be looking to get rid of Sanchez, and I would still be looking to bring in a new centre back.
I don't disagree with that, but I of course I would in a perfect world. But I think unfortunately, we can't get the offer we want for him. Sanchez has done a good job so far in Nuno, so I think it's much more worth Nuno's while to put his trust in Sanchez and fully back him.
Yeah, I would never say it's worth our while to put trust in Sanchez. But
it is, because otherwise he's going into the season thinking, oh, they don't want me, they think I'm rubbish, and it's a negative atmosphere. He wants to feel that he has the trust.
Yeah, well, if you let me finish speaking, I was about to say that, yes, I think Sanchez, if you've got no options coming in, obviously you have to put your faith in him and trust in him because you've got no other options, literally. But I would still be looking to get rid of him and to bring in someone else. And that's the facts of the matter, just because of what he has done at Tottenham in the past. He's got all the tools to be a top centre-back, but no manager can seem to get it out of him. So, I mean,
Maybe Nuno feels he can.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll have to wait and see. But it always starts off like this, and then, all happy camps at the beginning, and then he makes a mistake, and then he makes another mistake, and then he gets dropped out the team, then he comes back in the team, and he gets dropped out the team, and it's just the same revolving thing every time.
He's still 24.
Yeah, he is still 24.
So... He's still for a centre back. He's still got time on his side. I'm not saying I think Sanchez is the answer. I'm just saying I can understand why we think it's worth our while to might as well put trust in Sanchez rather than scrambling around for a centre back with a week to go.
Yeah, but I know, but we've had much longer than a week. We've had a whole transfer window.
I'm not disagreeing with that. You think I'm a fan of how we've conducted this transfer
window? We've had however long it's been to do our transfer business, and for us to be scrambling around for so many positions, right back, centre back, all these positions, centre mid, Adama Traore on a right wing, a backup striker, all these positions that need to be filled in the squad. It's actually a ridiculous joke how we're at this stage right now with 7 days to go.
Couldn't agree more. Let's get Brandon on.
Yeah, let's get Brandon on.
All right,
how you doing, Brandon? You all right?
Yeah. How's it going? You guys hear me?
Mr. Brandon Troller, thank you for all the super chats you've been giving.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I've been
really appreciate your support for the channel. It means a lot to us.
Thanks for everything you guys do.
No problem at all. What do you want to talk about today?
So we got this upcoming Conference League game Thursday, and Carter Vickers, he just ain't it.
No, he ain't.
He's not at backs. And I don't know if we play because Romero, Rodin both injured right now. I don't know if we play Dyer.
Carter Vickers is injured as well,
Really?
Yeah.
So are we going Pet Scottsy, or I mean?
No, I think we'll go with Sanchez and one of Sanchez and Dyer.
Yeah, Romero potentially could be fit. It's a potential that Romero could be fit, but it looks as though our only options are Sanchez and Dyer at the moment.
Wow. Okay, we got to get another center back, and I mean, people have been talking about Tomiyasu for what, 1-2 months now. We got to get that over the line.
To be fair, Ben Davis might fill in at centre back.
Fair enough.
It's funny with the Tomiyasu deal. They kept saying they're waiting for the Olympics to end. They never said which Olympics.
It's a money Olympics with Levy every day. So we got with Traore coming in, hopefully. We're gonna be winning a lot more free kicks. We don't have any set takers.
That's
Harry
true.
Kane, Eric Dyer, they can't do it. I've been surprised we haven't been linked with any right backs that could, maybe take a free kick here or there. I mean,
didn't we let one go a couple years ago?
he wasn't too bad.
He wasn't too bad at free kicks.
Who are we talking? Oh, Ericsson.
No, Trippier.
Oh, Trippier.
You're talking about right backs too, yeah. But do you think Adama's a good deal? Are you happy with that potential signing?
Oh, I mean, obviously everybody's been going on about how we're overpaying for him, but you got to think about it from Wolves' perspective. Similar to how we got to think about Harry Kane deal from our perspective. Like, he is almost as important to that Wolves team as Harry Kane might be to our team, at least in how they've been playing over the past year since Raul Jimenez has been, out with a question mark. And I think 40 million, considering everything, that's fine. I'm totally down with that. He is an absolute game changer. Every week you watch him, he's just an exciting guy. I mean, football is a beautiful game. What else can you ask for than to be excited when you watch a screen? I'm kind of tired of watching guys who, Harry Winks a lot, who like to walk around the pitch all day. He's all go 100% of the time. I'm all for that.
Interesting. With the week to go until the end of the window, the Harry Kane news coming out today is that Spurs see the deal was virtually impossible this late in the window. You think this deal was dead now? You think Kane is the Spurs player for another year?
I just have a sickening feeling in my stomach that they're going to come in with an acceptable bid on the last day. I can't shake it. Levy's proved this time and time again. I mean, if the right bid comes in, I think regardless of the time, especially with the potential of Son playing striker, I think they still accept it. I don't think it's as dead in the water as everyone's going out and saying. I mean, look, if tomorrow Man City pulls off a miracle and gives us 160 million, maybe that's enough time to go ahead and try and replace him. But I just think the whole situation is really, 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 really shameful. The way that Man City's handled themselves, it's just doesn't really make me want to do business with them in the future. I mean, they've been treating us like a joke,
Well, I hope we don't do business with them in the future.
Yeah. I mean, look, they already got Kyle Walker off our backs. That was, in hindsight, maybe not the best idea, but I don't know. I mean, good for him, though. He won some trophies. Hopefully, we can get a Conference League this year.
Yeah.
You don't sound too happy about that.
Yeah, Conference League. I don't think anyone's happy with the Conference League. But what do you expect to be done between now and the end of the window? What do you think is going to be done? What's your prediction?
I think this Adama deal is going to get over the line. I mean, it just makes sense. I also saw a report earlier today coming out that Adama has basically agreed terms with Tottenham, so he's on board. Go ahead. And it's also a loan move, which is obviously Paratici. It's kind of his special. And I think that'll go ahead. I don't think we're getting another center back unless it's Tomiyasu, who could play center back, right back. I mean, the Milinkovic deal, that's dead in the water. He signed a new contract. I don't want Kurt Zuma. So yeah, I can't really see that happening. But one thing that's kind of been playing on my mind, Mikael Damsgaard. This guy, it seems like he's heavily linked with Leeds now. But
really,
I mean, that'd be exciting to watch just as a neutral. But I still think we're in with a shout. Even if we get this Adama deal in, I think Damsgaard isn't really going to be fitting that same role and that same mold. Is that excess? 100%. But it's not as if we've been going on the track of actually addressing the needs we have. And this whole proposed potential McKennie deal, super excited about that. I think McKennie is one of the most, I mean, obviously, as an American, I've been watching him for years. I think he's one of the most underrated young guys in the world. He's real good.
He is a top player, but I can't see us spending 40 million on Traore, 35 million on Damsgaard, another 30 million on McKennie. I just can't see it. 20 million on Tomiyasu. It just doesn't make sense, does it?
No. I mean, it's wishful thinking,
Yeah.
And
I think it's beyond wishful thinking. I think it's just like a complete pipe dream.
I think, well, the Traore deal, it's not going to cost us much more than a 5 million loan fee for this year, because if that goes through, it looks like it'll be an obligation to buy type of thing come next summer. And
we're spending a lot of money next summer already.
Hopefully,
it's already 55 million on Christian Romero. What was it?
40 million on Adama.
40 million on Adama, or 35, if you know what I mean. It's like we're going to have no budget left for next summer.
See, something about that just stinks of Harry Kane getting sold last minute.
True.
That all
That's
comes
also
back.
very true.
I think we're gearing up to expecting gearing up to expect Man City to go ahead and come in with an acceptable offer on the final day of the window, and I think we're potentially preparing for that. Which, what are you gonna do? You know,
I guess they're expecting to have money next year with the stadium revenue. A lot of events coming in the stadium. Obviously, we'll get that money next season. Harry Kane potentially leaving next summer as well. Ndombele as well potentially leaving. So, yeah, I mean, maybe you're right.
Yeah, I just can't see us recouping even close to the, what was it, 65 mil that we paid for Ndombele?
Yeah.
I mean, he's worth what? What do you think he's worth now? 35, 40?
Something like that, yeah.
It's a shame. It's really a shame. I mean, I understand Nuno's perspective. If you got a guy who's not willing to go and fight like all the other guys, you know, you can't be making exceptions for someone who's not a proven world-class guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. All
right, Brandon. Thank you so much for calling in. Brilliant call, and we'll see you next time.
Nice one, Brandon.
Take care,
Thanks
guys.
for calling in, mate.
Come on, Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
All
right. I think that is it for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for another episode of Good Morning Tottenham. Clips are coming your way, and a certain interview with a certain journalist will be coming your way, and we'll be keeping you up to date with all the Spurs transfer news today. So let's hope we can get an exclusive of Mr. Romano today. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.